Okay, so I don't know if you remember this. I told you this years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, when I don't know what had happened, but I had been up real late.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to be to work early in the morning. And I was like, ain't no way I'm gonna be able to get up. I don't know what. And I was like, Lord, help me get up on time. And immediately at 5:30 in the morning, that's when I used to get up for work in the morning. Thank God for delivering me from having to drive to work. Amen.
Amen.
But it was 5:30, and I heard as clear as day, Samantha. I mean, that wasn't the tone. It was a man's voice. Honestly, it was Samantha. And I jumped right up, and I knew in my heart, I knew. I was like, God, you woke me up for work this morning.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I'll never, ever forget it. But when you said that Mary did not recognize Jesus until he said her name, immediately I remembered that. And because you said his sheep know his voice, I never questioned that.
Yeah.
That's who he called me. I asked him to wake me, and it feels so stupid to say. It feels crazy. It feels like you, like I'm, what's the word? Like, you hype something up, like just making the God mysticizing, like, ooh, the Lord said your name, that kind of thing. And every time I think about, but it happened.
Yeah.
It happened. I'll never, ever forget it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why we do that sometimes.
We ask God for stuff, and when he do it, if we be like, it couldn't have been. It's like, but dang, that's why I don't do nothing for you. You don't believe? No way.
God called so many people's names so many times in the Bible.
So many times.
So many times. And I think about the story of Samuel.
I was just thinking about that, yeah.
And Samuel was called 3 times.
Yeah.
And God was calling Samuel.
Yeah.
He was calling him to a duty that he would do for the nation of Israel. But you still see the handing down of a torch when the Lord used the high priest Eli at the time to tell Samuel whose voice it was
that he was hearing. Yeah.
Because clearly there had to be a succession, right? And it went from one high priest to Samuel. And so God made sure that happened. I mean, the way that the Lord does things, it'll blow your mind. But I believe that day when you was woken up at 5:30, the Lord called your voice, and the Lord called you by name, and you recognized.
I did. I heard it as clear as day, and I'm a hard sleeper.
Yeah.
Okay, you can be an actual human in the room calling my name, and I didn't hear you, and I ain't gonna hear you. You got to touch me to wake me up, and even then, So, yeah. So, well, I mean, what else is there? What else?
He is risen indeed. Today is a celebratory day.